Kia ora koutou. This video is because I got an email request from Ben to go over how to factorise quadratics like this one. So if you're in my algebra, my level 1 year 11 maths class this year, you'll know that there are lots of problems like this in the Dr. Frost revision that I've set. And the examples I'm going to do in this video have all got quite a lot of prime number coefficients. That means that we can easily use the guess and check method instead of having to get confident with grouping. Later on, we're all going to learn a second method to do these problems, but we're going to practice with this one first. So thanks, Ben, for sending in the email. So these are the examples I'm going to get to in this video, but first I'm going to work through two really slowly. Then you're going to do these 10 into your books. Okay, so I've started off with 2 here. So the first one I'm going to look at is 3x squared minus 5x minus 2. So what I want you to notice when you see a quadratic is, first of all, we're going to look at what we call the coefficient on the x squared term. Right, so coefficient is the number that's sitting here, right? And sometimes in class you will have heard me call that a, because we can write all of our quadratics in this form here, right? So this number here is 3. Now that's good because that's a prime number, so that's going to narrow down options for pairs of factors. Next, I'm going to look at the number on the end, and this is also a prime number. So this is looking like not too bad a quadratic. The next thing that I do is I write down my brackets like this, and I'm going to start by going 3x here and x here. Now I could do it the other way around, it doesn't matter. So that's that. And then I think about this, and I'm looking for pairs of factors that are going to give me -2. We know from doing lots and lots of easier factorising and expanding that the pattern I'm going to end up with is a plus here and a minus here, or maybe a minus here and a plus here. So the good thing about 2 is that it has only 2 factors because it's a prime number. So there are the following options that I might want to look at. I could have +1 here, -2 here, or -1 here and +2 here. So we can list them all, and there aren't really too many. And you'll get pretty fast at seeing which one's going to go where. So what I'm going to try now, and the first time I do it, I probably am going to write it out, is to put in the +1 and to put in the -2. Then I'm going to expand it out to check it. So I get 3x squared, and I've got +1x here, take away 6x here. So that's exactly what we want, right? Because that's matching up to that -5x. So in this case, I just got really lucky that the first pair was the right pair. Let's look at the second example. All right, so we have 2x squared plus 3x minus 5. We know that this is a nice prime number, and so is this, so we're not going to have too many choices. That means we've got to have 2x here and x here, and now I'm looking at combos that are going to work for timesing to give me -5. So we know we have to have one positive number and one negative number. So we'll start off +1 -5, -1 +5, +5 -1, and -5 +1. You don't have to write all of these out for very long, and most of you will quickly get a feel for which pairs are going to work, right? So in this one, we want to end up with +3. And we know that this number here is going to be times, this one here is going to get times by the 2x. So you don't have to start at the start, you don't have to start with +1 -5 if your gut is telling you something else will work. But because this video is for students who are just starting to get the hang of it, I am going to go through the list in order, right? So let's put in +1 here and -5 here, and we're going to see why it doesn't work. We're wanting to get a +3x. You can see this term here is giving me -10x, and this term here is giving me +1. So that's -9x. So that one's no good. Right, the lovely thing about this tablet is I can just erase, right? So let's just get rid of this. Let's do the next one. If we did -1 plus 5, all that's doing is it's giving me plus 9x instead of minus 9x. Right, so the first one here gave me 10 here and 1 here. So this time we've got a plus 10. Let's go slower. So we've got 2x squared. Then we've got plus 10x. And we've got minus 1x. Right? This minus 1 with this x. So that's still bad. That's giving me 9x. So we don't want that one. So you should be starting to get a sense that we probably, when we look at the next combos, let's see which one we think is going to make more sense. Well, we want to end up with a plus 3. So that one was bad. If we have the plus 5 and the take away 2, no, that's not right. What am I doing? Plus 5, sorry guys, plus 5 and take away 1, this is the one that's going to work. Let's expand it out to check. 2x squared plus 5x minus 2x. And that gives me the plus 3x that we want. Okay, so this method of listing out the factors is one way to do problems like this. There's another way, which is called the grid method. And I'm going to show you that way now, because some of you will maybe prefer that one. And we looked at this right at the start of the year when we were doing expanding. But in here, we're going to write 2x here and x here. We know that when we times those two together, we get 2x squared. Now in here, we know that we want to have -5 here. So we're looking for factors of 5. So we're going to do 5 and 1. So x times 5x will give me 5x. And 2x times 1 will give me 2x. In here, we want that 5x to be the plus, and we want this to be the minus. So we're going to make this -1 and leave this as +5. Now I haven't done that very slowly because I don't use the grid method much, but I will do a separate video on it if some of you are keen to learn how to use this instead of my way of doing guess and check and doing grouping. Okay, so let me know if you're keen to see the grid method done more slowly. But what we're going to do now in the video is I'm going to pop 10 examples up here, and I want you to pause the video and try and work through all of them and try and do it in one go so that you get an idea of the patterns that you're going to be working with. You'll notice that for these questions in here, there are a lot that look kind of similar. Okay, there's a lot of 2s, 5s and 3s in these questions. All right, so pause the video, and in your book, I want you to write down the expression and then try the factorising. I'm going to work through them slowly now. Right, but I will crank the speed a little bit. Right, so here we've got 3x squared plus 4x minus 7. I know that I'm going to have 3x here and x here. Right, now I'm looking for two numbers that are going to times to give me -7. So it's going to be some combination of 7 and 1. And I want to have 4 here. So in here, again, I've got lucky with doing that the first time, right? So I've got 3 going on here, and I've got 7 going on here. So if I make this one the takeaway and this one the plus, it looks like we might be there already. We get +7 minus 1. So starting to get an idea about getting gaps between numbers is going to help us go faster with these. Let's look again. We've got 3x squared plus 7x minus 3x minus 7. So that's what we want. Right, but if you didn't see that straight away, you could have gone 1 and -7, -1 and 7, 7 and -1, -7 and 1, and just worked through those. Right, let's look at the other examples. Question 2. 3x squared minus 2x minus 5. Put down our brackets. 3x and x. And I'm going to want to have 5 and 1 or 1 and 5. If we put our 5 here, that's going to give me 15, which is pretty big. I'm going to have a 1 here. So that doesn't feel like it's going to work. Let's try the other way around. Let's just put our numbers in as a 1 here and a 5 here. Now, if we want to end up with a gap of 2, that's what that minus 2 means. Hang on, I think I've just done exactly what I did the first time. I've done a silly thing. Right. I tried 1 and 5, right? And that was bad. Now I'm going to try 5 and 1. Now let's just see what's going on. If I put a plus here and a minus here, I'm going to have plus 5 minus 3, which is going to give me plus 2x. I don't want that one, but I'm not far off to having it right. Right? So we can change that over and make it minus 5x coming in here, and plus 3x coming in here. So that's that one done. Right, number 3. 3x squared minus 5x minus 2. Put down our brackets. 3x, x, I'm going to have a 2. Let's try 2 here and a 1 here, because I've got minus 2. So it's got to be 1, 2 or 2, 1. Now, if I do this, I need to have a plus and a minus. So let's try a plus here and a minus here. That's going to give me 3 here and minus 2 here. So that's not going to work. That's going to give me a plus x. And you should be starting to get a feeling that that 3 and that 2 together would be good, because that'll give me 6 and then the 1, right? So I've got 3x squared here. Let's try doing a 2 here and a 1 here. We want to have minus 5x. So let's see, if we put a minus in here, we're going to get minus 6x plus the 1 in here. Okay, so that's that one done. Number 4. 3x squared plus x minus 2. Now this is like the one we tried first up here. It's going to equal 3x here and x here. I know these numbers have got to be 2 and 1, and I'm going to end up with a plus x. But there's got to be a plus and a minus. So let's try plus here and minus here. So I could be doing 1, negative 2, negative 1 and 2, 2 and negative 1, or negative 2 and 1. But by now, I'm hoping that lots of you are not needing to write them all out, and you're starting to get a feel for them. So here we're going to put a plus 1, and here we're going to put a minus 2. 3x squared minus 2x plus 3x minus 2. Right, number 5, 3x squared plus 5x minus 2. Now let's just take a look back and see that it's very similar to this one, but it's got a plus in the middle instead of a minus. So again, we put down our brackets, 3x and x. And up here we had the minus 2 and the plus 1. Let's try doing a plus, let's see. Oh no, it's actually not the same, right? We're going to have a 2 here. We're going to put that as a plus. And then in here we're going to have the minus. Right, I'm just checking. This is a bit misleading, guys. So this one here, that did not work, right? That one there was wrong. This was the correct one here for that. Okay, I didn't erase it. And then in here, we're getting 3x squared plus 6x minus x to generate that middle term, minus 2. Question 6, 3x squared minus x minus 2, very similar to this one. It will be 3x, and then x, we're going to have a 1 here and a 2 here. We're going to have minus 3 and plus 2. Now, I haven't got time to do the others, so I'm just going to put the answers up for them now. Okay, so there are the answers to the last 4, and you'll notice there's slightly different patterns in those. Thanks for watching.